Well, what did you think about today? Day 27 of the Karen Reed trial 2.0. It has been a day, hasn't it? And I keep saying that, and every time I think, wow, then it just gets even a more wow. The veil is thin. It is raining. Messages are coming through, my darlings. Let's clear the air. Let's clear the energy. And definitely, let's get ready. Hello, everyone. I'm Lady Zelda von Gertlitz, and you are watching Seeing Crime, where I deep dive into the tarot. It's entertainment purposes only. If you know, you know. And it's my opinion. We just look forward to what the messages of the cards have to give us. So today, Star Witness was Lucky Loughran. I'll tell you what, that man just needs a big old hug. You watched righteous, forthright testimony, who was not going to let Hank tear him down. He was not rattled. He was extraordinary on the stand. And yet there's Hank. Now, I got to tell you this, what I know instinctively about a person like Hank. And this is my opinion. A person like Hank knows when they're failing. So I'm just going to say this up front. Tomorrow is a day off from court. It is the 5th of June. Today is the 4th of June. I think I said that. If I didn't, it is. Tomorrow we have off. And this is for him to recharge his battery. This is for him to do a little bit more digging. He tried to call out Turtle Boy, and then we had this lovely Karina, and I'm going to just tell you, I'm not going to try to butcher her last name, an absolute gem, in which I feel they did not allow her to bring some testimony into the trial. And what was that? Well, that Jennifer McCabe told her that they had ring camera footage of Karen backing up to show her guilt. Now, I'm certain that they were not going to let that come in, because I'm sure Auntie Bev says that's hearsay, blah, blah, blah. But she did an excellent job, and she helped us see exactly how this was charging up Higgy, because Higgy was in the line of sight, or had John and Karen in his line of sight, especially the kiss on the forehead. Very endearing. Did he see that? I don't know. Did Karina notice that John was looking at Higgy? Absolutely. She knew there was tension in the air. She just couldn't say anything. There's a lot going on here, my darlings. But I'm going to tell you, get ready for Friday. Hank will be doubling down on no matter who it is that comes across that witness stand. He's going to come out with the narcissism, gaslighting, maggot. Oh, sorry. That was, yeah. I think I saw one there in court. Maybe a few. Anyway, he's going to be doubling down on Friday. Get ready. But I want you to also know, these witnesses, as tough as it is, are unshaken. I want you to think about this. Some of these witnesses are independent witnesses that are testifying for Karen. They could do whatever they want. I have to also say that I'm glad that Proctor's not going to get on the stand. Now, some of you may disagree with me, but look what Kelly Devers did. Devers. Hope she's watching. Because that could have turned into a bigger disaster. And with Proctor knowing how to lie, we don't need a disaster. Every little moment, Every little thing counts. We're gearing up now, coming toward the end of the case in chief for Karen Reed. And let's see how the jury is thinking. Let's see how things are going. I'm very interested in all of this. And by the way, apologies for no live tonight. The live will be Thursday night, June 5th at 7 p.m. That's New York, America time. And we're going to discuss a lot more of this. I've got a lot of cards on the table. I have many on deck and waiting. Let's get started. I have the Mythic Tarot, the Hidden Deck, the Kipper. We've cleared the energy we're going to clear it again with this beautiful crystal wand. And let's get started. Putting these to the side, my darlings, putting these to the side. What do you see? I had to clear that right there. Get. All right. I just had to clear that. My question this evening is, on the temperature scale, how's the jury feeling? Are they hot? Are they cold? In fact, let me do this. Here's what I want to know what the jury is picking up. What is the jury picking up? This is what they're picking up. An official person. Well, I'm going to tell you, most likely that is Hank. The official person. The person representing the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the prosecution. That's what they're picking up. What are they leaving? The house. Now, they're not leaving that as in leaving it away, but basically what they're picking up, what they're putting down. I want to say it that way. Pardon me for that faux pas. This is what they're putting down. They know there was trouble here at 34 Fairview. The house. Look, let's see if we see somebody looking out the window. Is Jen McCabe there on the phone? Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, that's what, do they go together? Yes. Now, this could also be Uncle Brian, but I don't believe so. He's not in court. This is Hank, in my opinion. Let's get started. Pick a few cards, and we're gonna see what's happening here. Oh. Something stuck. Concern. That's right. Concern by the prosecution. Thief. He's stealing. Well, I'm going to address that in a minute. Let's finish putting out the cards. And my stomach is growling if you hear that. A false person. Putting this down. I believe the false person is also Hank. I believe that the jury feels that he's representing himself as something that he truly is not, and he comes across as that, a common criminal, somebody that is slick, somebody that if they would steal from you, they'll lie to you, and if they lie to you, they'll steal from you. But he comes across as a fake. Did you hear him with Lucky on the stand? When Lucky said, I'm also dealing with the loss of my wife. I'm sorry. Just so freaking snarky. I'm sorry, but he needs to be concerned. They need to be concerned because everyone, and especially the jury, is figuring out and they're realizing what this is all about. Let's put these down and let's get started. I want to pull out this Mythic Tarot. Now tell us, we're going to put this to the side. Tell us what the jury is thinking, please. What is the jury thinking? What is the jury thinking? And channeling John, if you want to come in and say something, you certainly may. Here we are. Judgment. Well, certainly, this is the card that I like to call the discernment. The jury is making a judgment. And guess what film we saw today from the waterfall? I kind of got chills. Standing in the bulkhead of 34 Fairview, which does not surprise me, but the jury is definitely gaining, we'll put him over here, gaining momentum, gaining the thought process, seeing as things come through. Each day as the defense presents their case, the jury knows more and more. They know they're suspect. And by the way, I do want to point out something. Yesterday, I put out a video in which it said there was perhaps or possibly a juror that was a young man who was acting that was childlike, almost immature. Then I watched Jessica Machada or Makata. I'm sorry, I don't mean to butcher her name because I have a lot of respect for her. She's doing fantastic. But I heard her mention last night, after I put out the video with attorney Mark Betterow, that there was a man on the jury that was smirking, and she calls him Smirky Smirk. Let's hope that these people that are seeing do not get replaced. But I don't think so, because they know that if they try to pull something again, it is going to be extremely odd. All right, here we are. 10 of Cups. This is the jury. Now remember, we're asking about the jury. The jury feeling like they have come to an emotional conclusion, being brought together, knowing that there is a celebration coming through. And remember, no letting your heads pop off. We got to keep it together for Karen's sake. There is this. An abrupt end coming. An abrupt end. This is telling me, it's also the sign of Scorpio. Now, we're not in Scorpio season, so we're not going to really go by that. But look at this character gaslighting these people here, trying to talk them into something that isn't either true or cannot be. And this character here, even though the sun comes up a different day, is doing everything that he can because he knows he is losing. This is an abrupt end. And that's telling me that the jury will positively find this case for Karen Reed as an abrupt end as we stand right now. Positively means acquitted. The sun coming up. And I can tell you this, I just feel that this is the jury down here feeling like this character here is gaslighting them in a very penal code sort of way. You know, you've heard that before. Temperance. That does not surprise me. That is the zodiac reference for the sign of Sagittarius, and also the sign for John O'Keefe. So he is definitely there. He was definitely on the hearts and minds of everyone in that courtroom and all over the world today. And we see this beautiful angel standing here pouring water from cup to cup. And even though she represents a fiery energy, this water brings out the emotion in all of us. There is growth, but there is an encouragement that comes along with this sign. An encouragement that our goal is not that far away. The rainbow, a promise from the Maker that we won't go through that again. Now that's a stretch kind of, sorta, because the promise of the rainbow was to signify the world would not be flooded in that way again, as in the great flood of Noah. But with this card coming up, it tells me that this is recognized as being a divine presence over this case. Evil cannot prevail. It cannot prevail. King of Cups. I still believe that is Karen Reed's father. Karen Reed's father in court every day, holding it together emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. But I'm also going to tell the attribute of this card is also that of calmness, diplomatic, dependable, a family man, seeing the truth, recognizing the truth. The King of Wands. Now, this is a fiery energy, neither male nor female, in which I believe that the jury recognizes Mr. Reed, but they also recognize that he's got a fiery energy. Just the Reed family in its own, this beautiful idea of wisdom, vision, understanding, bringing things to light. The Queen of Pentacles, they look at Karen as though she does have the money. There's a few things here that they don't quite understand yet. And that will be brought to light by the defense. And it's the financial aspects of Karen. Maybe they can say something, maybe they cannot. But they view Karen as being the rich girl. I mean, they realized as of today, she's been through this before. So it takes money to defend yourself. Unfortunately, the Ace of Wands. Ooh. Oh, look at that. World in hand. Fire that goes off the frame of the card, which means we're not done yet. But there's so much more potential and inspiration to come, you see? With that fire coming off. A direction, timing. Now, the one thing I will tell you about is the defense is going to stagger on Friday. And I believe they're going to allow things to, as they wind down the clock to the end of the day going into the weekend, we may see the defense decide to continue on with their direct. So whomever is the witness on Friday will not be cross-examined and then let it go for the weekend. Here's why. In business, Actually, and I find this in anything else, but in business, back in the day when I was more on the corporate side of things than this side of things, I would never make a deal. I would never give anyone a contract. I would never do anything specifically that required any type of or amount of thought on a Friday, not even on a Thursday. I would wait until mid-morning after 10:30 a.m. to issue contracts or to make important telephone calls, schedule Zooms, schedule meetings, etc., etc. The reason why is because you don't want people going home because emotions drive actions. You don't want people going home on a Friday, as an example, showing people their contracts, showing family. Uncle Fred, who works down at the auto parts store, has a much better solution. So then that comes into play, and then somebody calls somebody, and then by the time Monday rolls around, your client is an absolute wreck, and you don't even know what's happened. Well, that's what they will do their best to try to make sure they can avoid, if they can avoid that on Friday. So the jury does not have a weekend to go home and in their mind roll around what Hank has to say and forget about what the defense team has to say. Because whoever speaks last will resonate with the jury over the weekend. So I believe that's what the strategy will be. If possible, it may not be possible, we'll see. But I want you to know this. On Friday, I think I mentioned it before, on Friday, Hank will double down. He will double down. And Bev will be playing along tickety boom. This is a card of sacrifices, but it's also a card from the hidden deck. Let me pull us some more out. We're going to see. You guys are probably like, oh, Zelda, you always laugh and giggle and everything else awful. I can't help it. I can't help it. This is something, my loves. Amazingly enough, my darlings, we've got cards out here that indicate that there is a closeness and family and feeling together. Now, that is not only Karen and her family, but it's Karen and her defense team that is together as family. Everyone sees it. There's been some sacrifices by all people in this particular case. However, we come over here. This is an indication where there's not only third-party interference, but there's some oddness there. There's a tearing apart, tearing away. And what is this? Well, this joker with this joker on it, this represents Hank. And this is how the jury looks at this. Now, with this particular joker, it's joker number 1, which is supposed to be rise, the rise. Joker number 1 is rise. Joker number 2 is the fall. Hank has put himself on a pedestal in front of what he thinks is a pedestal in front of the jury, trying to get on their good side, trying to understand this. But he has the personality of a fish hook. And the idea that he is doing this, again, gaslighting with all of these collaborations. This part of it means that there's a haunting here. Now, sometimes from a haunting, we are supposed to learn the lessons. It is obvious he doesn't want anyone to learn anything except to be haunted by this case. And the reason he repeatedly, as an example, Lucky Loughran today, repeatedly asked about being tormented, etc., from Aidan Carney, not only to trip him up, but to resonate that in the jury's mind. Do you hear how many times he said that? At least 3. It's the repetition of it. He's drilling it home, but he's wanting to haunt the jurors. They recognize that with what are not the facts of this case. This is why whenever anyone wants to learn anything, it's repetition over and over and over, just like affirmations. He's doing it. He's twisting the words. He's haunting the jury with these twisted, undermining things. And the only thing that I say is, no matter how many times you flush, this turd just won't go down. Pardon the bombastic. So you're going to see this on Friday. Monday will be a different story. We will be back tomorrow. I'm going to go live. And then Friday we will be together in court. In the meantime, my darlings, prepare. Get some rest. Prepare for Friday. Because we have more sidebars. We have more sighing. We have more everything else coming up. Wow, just wow. We need a final message. What is the last word that you have for us here? The last word, please. Page of Pentacles. That is a grounding card, and it is a card of basically saying, not only is there more to come, but we're going to hear some more other things coming about, and it's money we're going to be hearing about in court very, very soon. But how this money has uplifted. That's amazing, that message. So that's the message of the page, message of what's happening. Thanks for being here with me. I'm surely glad I am not alone going through this. Thank you so much. Free Karen, justice for John. Much love to you, and I will see you in my live and in court. Bye for now.